Hey there everyone, welcome. I've got a little information about the rusty paper that I carry and that you've purchased. So I wanted to give you a quick rundown on it and some solutions if you're having some issues with it. So my very first batch of them that I got, they seem to be really chunky and real gritty. And that's what I showed you in my first couple videos, how it went on like that. Well, as my jar goes along, it's getting drier and drier and a little harder to spread. So I have a solution for that, and I'll show you here that in just a moment. Now, those who recently purchased in my second batch got the jars that look like this, very creamy, and appear to not have any, if very little, grit in them. And it seems to be a darker brown. So I don't know if this first batch was, the formula was mixed wrong, or if the second batch was. I have a feeling the creamy is what it's supposed to be. I do have an email into the company to try to find out what the consistency is, and I haven't gotten it back yet. But I came up with some ideas and some solutions to share with you. So here it is, it's creamy, and I'm finding out from the people I talked to that have already started working with it, they like the creamy because you can add grit to it, and you can do different things with it that you can't do with it when it's really chunky. So first let me show you the solution if you received the chunky and it's starting to dry up on you. So what I did is I took a glob of it and just added water to it. I'm not going to do it directly in the jar. I suppose I could, but I'm going to kind of do it, mix up the batches as I go. That way I could mix the consistency to be just right. So literally, I just added water to it. And now it's back to what it looked like, kind of creamy and gritty when I first got it. That's what it looked like. So there you go. And so that's one solution for it, just adding water to it. Now for the creamy, if you are wanting it gritty, I played around with it. Took some of the stuff, put it in a separate container, because you wouldn't want to do this inside your jar, because then you wouldn't have any control over it. And I took sand. This is just white fine sand that I purchased at the craft store. And so I just took the sand and mixed it around in it, and I ended up with that perfect gritty that some of the projects you're going to like doing it that way, because you can make it as gritty as you want to or as smooth as you want to. And I'll show you here in a second what I did with it so you can get the different looks. There you go. Let's see. I need to get a light in here so you can see that it is kind of gritty. Kind of a darker brown. It's reddish in some tones, but not very much. It's more of a dark brown. So what I did then, okay, let me show you. So this is the old stuff, harder to get on. Even after watered down, it's going to take 1 or 2 coats. This is the sand added to the new stuff. And it's beautiful. It's got a nice grit to it. You can put it on as thick as you want to. Right here, I put it on and then sprayed it, trying to get it a redder look. I sprayed it with my Distress Rusty Hinge spray, which kind of gave it a little bit more color. And then I also took my Distress ink and did some of the black on the side of it to look and see how that looked. Yeah, get that in the light for you to see. Okay, so down here, I put it on smooth. And one of the advantages to putting it on smooth is you're supposed to be able to stamp in it. And I might have waited too long before I stamped in it because I hadn't tried this before. But I stamped after it had dried just a little bit. And so the image isn't as vivid, but it's there. So there you go. You could stamp in it or do something like that. Now, this to me is really kind of a dark brown. And we kind of want this red rusty look, like the original stuff came out more like. So I took some of that I had added the sand to. And like I said, just mixing up the little batches that you want to use. And I simply added red paint to it. And then mixed it up. So again, you could make this as red, rusty looking as you wanted. You could even add maybe a cream to it and make it even lighter. So I guess there's a lot more possibilities having it creamy. So just by mixing the red paint, which seems to mix up just fine in it, and you can hear the grit because this is some of the stuff I added sand to. And when it dried, I got the red. And nice raised. It's actually, I like it. The old stuff works fine, except for I would have to put another coat on at this point because the coverage is not very good. Where the coverage with the smooth stuff with the grit in it goes right on and dries nicely. I used a little bit of alcohol ink right here to see what it would do. Makes it a little shiny, and you could puddle different colors in there. So that was my solution for the different consistencies that it seems to come in. And I think there's probably, like I said, I think a few more possibilities with using the creamy, because you could add to it, where this I can't take away. I can't take away the grit if I wanted to. I am going to keep this jar though and keep adding water to it because I could still use it the way that it came at first, because I wouldn't have to add any red to that because that already seems to have more of the red tones in it, where this one I had to add a little bit more of the red in there to get that rusty color. I hope that helps. This is water soluble. You can clean your tools and hands and everything off with water. Make sure you do it pretty quickly after you're done with it. Don't let it sit. You can use it on chipboard. You can use it on metal. You can use it on plastic. You can, oh gosh, the label has like a couple dozen things that you can actually use it on. And I guess after it's completely dry, it's water resistant. So you could use it on things that you're using outside as well, like a clay pot, if you wanted to put something like this on it, or even, I don't know, any kind of flower pot or yard ornament that you wanted to make kind of look gritty and rusty. You could do that because then it'll be weatherproof according to the label. I haven't put anything outside, so I can't say for sure it does. So this is the way it's going to come if you're ordering from me now. And I would love it if you would send me links to any of the projects that you're doing with this, and maybe especially if you find some other fun ways and uses for it. I can think of lots of possibilities. I'm thinking seed beads added into it, making it very thick so that you could put it on some projects very thick, or again very thin, just by adding a little bit of different colored paints to it. So thank you very much. Let me know what you think. I'm anxious to hear from you. Bye.